Brazil by Holly, Monica, and Rena. Location of Brazil. Map reference is South Africa. Brazil is the largest country in both South America and Latin America. The main language of Brazil is Portuguese. The history of the Brazil language. Brazil was the first colonized in the 1500s. And the Tupi was one of the languages of the Tupi family. I hope I'm pronouncing that right for you all. It was the main language mainly because the Jesuit priests studied and taught the language. It was banned by a royal decree, and when the Jesuit priests were expelled in 1759, Portuguese became the language of the country. Define the culture of the language and ranging between high and low. Portuguese is spoken by nearly 100% of all the population, except by those who were immigrants mainly from Japan and South Korea. English is also often studied in school and increasingly in the private courses. It has replaced the French as the primary second language by the Brazilian people. The regional differences of the language. The European Portuguese differs from the Brazilian Portuguese mainly in the terms of the pronunciation. There's small things such as numbers and letters, as C and P. They become silent and are not written. Related cultures, norms with language and communication. During the time the U.S. was showing the movie Forrest Gump, at a bar in Brazil was so excited to be part of the American Forrest Gump story that they redecorated the entire bar to be a replica of the square where Forrest Gump was waiting for the bus. A U.S. businessman just happened to be in Brazil with some Brazilian business partners at the time the show came out. His business partners couldn't wait to take him to the bar and show him the redecoration. And below, the chart below shows the alphabet. The alphabet is the same as English, except for some of the alphabets have a different pronunciation. Are you able to say hello and goodbye? Please, thank you, nice to meet you. Hello is hola. Major language, verbal and nonverbal. In general, conversations tend to be quite informal. The Portuguese people are often welcoming to strangers. Portuguese people stand very close to each other during a conversation and maintain eye contact. A grip of an arm or a hand on the shoulder is not an uncommon thing between business associates. Country ranks on the Hofstede's value dimension. Where I found the most interesting was, I guess, uncertainty avoidance. The legal system, in order to structure lives, how individuals, they need to obey the law, but however they think it's weak. I thought that was kind of an interesting fact. And then indulgence. With small children being socialized, Brazilian scored 59 marks, which I thought was a pretty high score. Explain some assumptions and perceptions people of Brazil have to those in the U.S. Families and friends are primary social unit and are considerate. Appearance is very important. Prefer to avoid risk, which I thought was a very interesting point. I didn't know that about the Brazilian culture. Praise is highly valued, especially in front of others. How difficult would it be for a person who speaks only English to travel to Brazil or work with others in Brazil? Understanding that the United States person communication is key. Many Brazilians already speak English. Other important aspects of the language of Brazil is 300,000 citizens in Brazil use the Brazilian Sign Language as their first way of communicating. I double-checked that number to make sure I had that right. Brazilians prefer face-to-face meeting to written communication. And just a few extra fun facts about Brazil is, I'm sure as you all are aware, Brazil will be hosting the 2016 Olympics. The Zika virus is the top safety concern for everyone attending. Nearly 50% of the population is under 20. Thank you, and obrigado. We hope you enjoyed the presentation.